You forgot. What? You forgot. Huh? This was definitely a test run to see if Uncharted would work, and it absolutely did. So let's keep the adventure going with Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. That was 8 months ago. You forgot. I didn't forget. What are you talking about? No, in fact, I've actually been working on this video since then because there's just so much that I want to talk about. I must have been mistaken then. What a fool I am. So the video's all set then? Yep. You just need to record it? Yep. Well, that's great. I'll let you get back to this video then you've been working so hard on. Wait, this is the Uncharted 2 video? I'm sure you have much to say, and I don't want to stand in the way of it, so you have fun in your video. Do it for Sully. Okay, then. Well then, Uncharted 2.
I sure hope you know what you're doing.
I don't have the faintest idea.
The first Uncharted game proved to be a fantastic one. With a great story, incredible characters, and action scenes unlike anything I've ever seen before, I was really looking forward to seeing what Uncharted 2 had to offer. While I still liked Uncharted, my favorite was still definitely Uncharted 4, purely because it seemed to learn upon itself and fine-tune some of the rougher areas of the original game. So, to figure out more about what the rest of this series has to offer, 8 months after I intended to, let's take a look at Uncharted 2 and see if it still stands today. When many think about the Uncharted franchise, I've noticed that many tend to talk about events that happened in the second game. Before even starting this game, I knew about the train scene, and the other train scene, but when it's not on the track. But what I didn't really know about this game was the characters involved, or the stories. And let me just say, they don't disappoint. Right at the beginning, we're introduced to Harry Flynn, who presents himself as a good friend of Nathan Drake, who you play once again as throughout this game.
Buy me a drink, sailor.
Harry Flynn? Hey!
You're also introduced to Chloe, who, is also a really good friend of Nathan Drake, like a really close friend. They team up with Nathan in an effort to find a treasure, and after getting it, it's revealed that Harry's actually a bad guy.
What you doing?
Sorry, mate. This is where we part ways.
Wait, Flynn, we had a plan.
Honestly, I was relieved to see that they weren't going to drag on Harry's good guy act for too long. I'm not saying that I saw it right away, but after a few minutes of hanging around with Harry, it's kind of obvious. But even better than that was the return of the greatest character in the entire franchise.
Ruining the show here.
Ah, what a shame.
Sully!
I really can't leave you alone for a minute.
Oh man, am I glad to see you.
This is also a good time to mention that the writing has improved so much from the previous game. Not that it was bad in the first game, far from it, but everyone here seems to have their own character and style of talking. Anytime a cutscene played, it was like watching a show. Each voice actor put their full into portraying these characters, and it really shows.
Dear God.
Oh, no, it's not that bad. Look, I have my own bucket. Last cell I was in, 8 of us had to share.
After learning more about the treasure you're after, the game actually starts. And I mean, just take a look at some of this scenery. This game came out in 2009, and it still looks incredibly detailed. Each level and world that you explore is carefully created. There's plenty of ways, too, in which you can complete each section. Personally, I enjoy trying to sneak around and take everyone out quietly, but there's also the option of going into each fight, guns blazing. And if you are that kind of player that enjoys going into each fight, blazing your way through, you have plenty at your disposal this time. I'm not a gun or weapons kind of guy, but compared to the last game, there's a lot more here that you can use to blow up a helicopter. Twice, actually. Man, this game loves the idea of vehicles blowing up. Now, I won't go through the entire story here in case you plan on playing it for yourself in the future, but one element I liked about this story was how the opening played its role. I feel like in many different stories, when storytellers put an event that happens later in the story at the start, they usually have the event be near the end. Think of it as a...
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Here though, the opening of Nate in the snow in a collapsing train actually plays near the middle of the game. It made me more curious on how the rest of the game was going to play out, as there was nothing to go off of. Now, speaking of the snow, and this is my only critique of the game. No, everyone, just listen. Look, there's too much snow. And the Yeti Guardians are a weird addition. No, wait! To many players, the supernatural element of the games are what people enjoy about them. If this was just Nate exploring different caves and finding treasure, it wouldn't have the same appeal. It would just feel like an Indiana Jones sort of ripoff. The first game did do this with the possessed zombies, and while they played a role in the story kind of, they seemed out of left field, and I feel the same way about these Yetis. I guess I just don't feel as strongly for or against them as some people online do. Personally, I just wish they were a little bit easier to take down. Anytime I could avoid them, I would, because they took so long to defeat. I did like these Yetis a lot more than the zombies, though. They came out of nowhere and seemed like an actual threat. And the other part of that being that there's too much snow, I mean that the second half of the game focuses on snow. The first game, love it, great game, but there is so much jungle. There's some ancient ruins, but they all give the jungle feel to them. Here though, I thought the game would be a lot more experimental with locations, especially after that first half. You explore a museum, another jungle, Nepal, a train. I mean, the locations you go to explore here each felt unique and fun. And then it all turned to snow. I mean, look, here's a moment from the second half of the game. As you can see, there's a lot of snow. And here's 1 hour later. Seems like a long time for snow. Well, it should be, because it's actually 2 hours later. Again, though, these are really the only things that drag the game for me. Everything else was absolutely incredible. I really had to nitpick here in order to figure it out, and I know that this is nitpicky, but other than that, I really enjoyed this game. As you continue through the game, you learn more about the real meanies running everything, come across even more characters, and have an incredible boss fight right at the end, putting you to the test of everything you learned up to this point. Overall, this game was a great improvement from the first in the series. It's rare for a sequel to actually do better than the first, but this proved that it can be done. I completely understand why people consider this to be one of the best in the series, and now I'm even more excited to finish it off with the third and final game I'll review here, Uncharted 3. There. Now we have 2 great sequels. More than anything though, this series is showing me that there's much in this world that I haven't done simply because I'm scared to do it. I mean, Nate is able to do all of these incredible things, and like I said in the Uncharted 1 video, I'm not a very adventurous person. If anything, I want to explore more of this world that we live in and see what it has to offer. So, I'll tell you what, we're coming up on 1,000 subscribers pretty quick, which is incredible and sooner than I thought we ever would. So, when we get this channel to 1,000 subscribers, I'll do something that's way out of my comfort zone. I just don't know what that is yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know. Why don't you let me handle that? You took care of this video after all, so let me take care of the rest. Oh, really? Aw, that'd be great. Thank you. Hold on, let me just move this bookshelf back and then I'll wrap up the video. Okay guys, coming close. I have the perfect idea. When we hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I'll get him to skydive. He doesn't like planes, he doesn't like heights. More than anything, he doesn't like the idea of jumping out of a plane. So, 1,000 subscribers, and he will skydive. But don't tell him, don't tell him, okay? Let's just keep this between you and me, okay? Okay, it's moved. I didn't even know we had that bookshelf until today. Now, that's just what I think about Uncharted 2, but what about you? What do you think is the best Uncharted so far in the series? Let me know in the comments. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video, and remember to chase the chaos.